Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports. We're back. The king of crossovers returns. And the king of crossovers, the creme de la creme of crossovers, has another crossover yet again. And we have the lovely Beverly Rose from Boxing and Entertainment. I hope I've got that right. Boxing and
Mhm.
Entertainment, correct?
Yeah,
From
yeah.
all the way from the USA.
Hello.
Hey, Beverly, how
Hello.
you doing?
What time is it over there?
Time is now 10 past 9.
And what's considered late for you guys? Because out here people stream till like 1 in the morning.
Well, I'm considered the guy that doesn't sleep, so
Oh, okay.
it's one of those ones we just like. If it's Abel Sanchez and it's in California, then we're up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning getting an interview. Or what I did one
hmm
night was at midnight I had somebody from New Zealand, one interview. 3 o'clock in the morning I had
Right.
Abel Sanchez, and at 6 o'clock in the morning I had Joseph Parker, and then I had a stream
Oh,
during
really?
that evening. Yeah, so it's whatever goes.
Right, right. Do people stay up with you? They stay up late? Is it like a normal thing out there to stay up late in the UK?
I know. Usually it's just me by myself. No, I'm lying. Yeah, I know. I
No.
do get a few. I do get a few people from time to time do like chip in, have their say. So yeah,
Right.
yeah, it's
Hmm.
good. Now I've got already in the room my brother from the States. Blood Boxing's in the room. Shout out to Blood Boxing.
Hey, Blood. What's up?
So we got Blood in the room. So for those people who don't know who you are, Beverly, this is the platform. Let everybody know who you are, where you come from, and the fact that you got a YouTube channel.
Well, ooh, it's kind of a long story, but
We've got time. There you go. We've got time.
so I'm originally from Denver, Colorado. I live out here in Stockton, California. A lot of you may know that based on the Diaz brothers, UFC fighters.
Okay.
Um, I started YouTubing about 2 months ago because I was actually injured and my mother got sick. So I wanted to be able to afford her treatment. So I figured, I'd make a hustle out of this. And had a lot of help from everyone in the LDBC. I'm actually an LDBC affiliated commentator. So I know a lot of people don't like the LDBC, but, you know,
Right,
I don't
right. That's
really.
it. Get out of the room. No, I'm joking. Keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, yeah. We get a lot of hate, but they've actually been very, very supportive of me and my mother throughout this. So that's pretty much the sole reason why I started commentating on YouTube is because of my mother to try and get to 1,000 subs and get my channel monetized so I can help her out a bit. But overall, I do have a genuine love for boxing. Well, MMA as well. I started training in MMA first, but I just got more interested in boxing. So I can't box right now because my knee is still banged up, but I'm more focused on the sweet science. I know it probably sounds kind of cheesy, but I really don't know a lot of names. I tell people all the time, I'm the last person you should come to when it comes to names because normally they tell me a name and I'll do film study and then break the fight down from there. I mean, there's probably some names that I don't know that I should know. Everyone knows. They get genuinely surprised when I say I don't know who that is. And it kind of makes me sound like a casual. But I'm just more into breaking down fights. That's my style.
Well, I'd prefer that you actually could break down a fight rather than know a person's name,
Right. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
knowing a
That's pretty.
person's
Yeah. That's the gist of it.
knowing a person's name doesn't mean you can break down a fight. It just means you know
hmm
their name. But if you can break down a fight, means you've taken the time
Exactly.
and build up a logical argument of why you think the person is going to win or lose, instead of
Right.
who's going to get
Yeah.
knocked out, who's going to get stuffed. You can actually say, well, this guy doesn't fight very well off the back foot. This guy doesn't handle pressure
hmm
very well. This guy, hasn't got a very good chin.
Right. Right.
So you can, he's
And
susceptible.
it leaves you unbiased for the most part when
Well,
you don't
absolutely,
know either fighter.
it
You can
is.
just yeah.
Of course, and that once you're actually saying already from the start, you're saying you want to appreciate the sweet science of boxing, then you're already at a different level altogether. You are already talking a different type of talk. Most people want to talk
Right.
about two guys, bang them, smash them up, two guys in the ring, punch one
Hmm.
of those lights out. That's boxing, but it isn't, because the sweet science is about hit and not get hit.
Exactly. Exactly. And
Um,
that's what I appreciate. That's what I enjoy. I like a good chess
so,
match.
so what is it about the sport itself? I mean, boxing scene, is it two guys fighting or two girls fighting, or is it just the art of just seeing two people getting it on? What is it for you?
Oh, that's a good question.
My job.
Hmm. I think for the most part, it really doesn't matter what gender. It's just mainly men who are biologically wired to partake in combat. So I think it's the art of using your feet to establish angles to land a punch, using feints to set up a knockout in the first round. Well, using feints in the first round to set up a knockout all the way in the fifth round. Stuff like that is that's what's really
Wait, wait,
interesting.
wait,
And
wait.
the whole
Hold up a second. You're talking about feints. What is that? A feint? What is a feint? I don't see much feint in boxing. Oh, particularly like the UK. I don't see much feint.
right. Well, wait, are you being serious or not being serious?
No, I'm being dead serious. I see a lot of guys standing looking at one another, but I don't
Right.
see a lot of guys using the feint. I don't see a guy feinting.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
even see
Well,
guys blind. Guide.
it's a lost art. Boxing is a lost art. Pugilism, it's a lost art. But that's what I appreciate. I really love pugilism. And I also love the gentleman aspect of it, knocking someone down, giving them 10 seconds to stand up, as opposed to MMA, which is, I have nothing against it. I do like to watch MMA, UFC and stuff. I love watching MMA.
Mm.
But I just like the fact that in boxing, you can knock a man down and let him stand up and you still go at it again. That's, why they call it the gentleman's sport, in my
Do you
opinion.
actually think it's the gentleman's sport when you've just been knocked down by Mike Tyson and then he's just waiting in the corner to rampage on you again? Would you call that gentleman-like? I mean,
Yeah. 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 I would say, I mean, it's not like he's pouncing on you, like, in the MMA where you knock him down and you bang him until he's unconscious. Not saying, again, I have nothing against that because I do like to watch a brawl, but it's just different in boxing, even when someone as ferocious as Mike Tyson can sit in the corner and wait 10 seconds to go at you again. I really like that.
I've seen
I
Mike.
enjoy
I've
that.
seen Mike go after guys without the 10 seconds. I've seen Mike still trying to punch a guy and the referee as
True,
well when the
true,
fight's been
true.
stopped.
Right, right. But I guess for the most part, I know what you mean. Though.
We all love
Tyson's an
Mike.
animal, though.
We all love.
Tyson is an animal.
We all
He's
love
an
Mike.
animal.
We all love.
Yeah, he's in his own little box,
Yeah, we all. We all love Mike. So,
Yes, yes.
you've started a conversation here, which is it's very interesting because the
Hmm.
lost science of boxing is that because in one trainer's mind, James Ali Bashir, who's been in the sport over 40 years, it's because the trainers today don't have any lineage or lineage. They have nobody to go back to. Like Freddie Roach could say, he could go back to what's his name, Eddie Futch. He could go back and say,
Right.
well, hey, Eddie Futch is the guy that brought me into boxing. You
Hmm.
know, um, Bashir could say, well, he knows 6 or 7 guys that helped him into boxing. Emmanuel Stewart could say X amount of people who gave him something in boxing. A lot of the trainers
Hmm.
today are just walking off the street with some pads, watching some YouTube videos, and they're trainers. So
Right.
there's no real science, and everyone wants to be the next Mayweather trainer. They've all the
Hmm.
fancy pads and stuff, but what they forget is Mayweather does stuff outside of that, and he's a
Right.
tremendous student. I know we'll get into this on another subject, but just being a tremendous student of the game and not just doing them pad works all the time, but actually knowing how to break a fighter down. Hence why he was successful in the
Hmm.
sport and being a tremendously great marketer.
I think it's a mixture of probably two things that I can think of right now at the top of my head. I think it's a mixture of not having the lineage, because I was listening to an interview with, I believe Roger Mayweather, and he was saying how the Philly show was passed down to him. You know, a lot of people think that the Mayweathers invented the Philly show, which is false. So
Absolutely.
I think it's the fact that technique isn't being passed down from trainer to trainer, as well as people just not appreciating the science. I feel like trainers, like for example, Abel Sanchez. Abel Sanchez uses the term Mexican style to sell Gennady Golovkin, and the Mexican
Abel,
style is
San-
typically, uh
Abel Sanchez will say whatever Abel Sanchez wants to say what Abel
huh,
Sanchez said. Abel Sanchez is a regular on the channel, right? And
right.
Abel Sanchez told me that Dominic Wade was one of Gennady Golovkin's most dangerous opponents. I said, I don't know who you're talking to, but
Hmm.
you're certainly not telling me that garbage.
Right.
So Abel Sanchez will say what he's got to say at the time to
To
entertain the
sell.
fans.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm getting at. I think the second part is trainers know that a lot of casual boxing fans just want to see brawls and they want to see knockouts. So they ignore the fact of, they just completely ignore training them in the style of actual boxing, you know? They put them in front of pads and teach them how to cut off the ring, and that's what they call Mexican style.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think it's a mixture of not having any lineage, and also trainers and boxers themselves pandering to the casual fan. You know, because a casual fan doesn't want to see a Mayweather fight. You know, just being honest, they call it boring. So
But
they're not gonna really train their boxers to fight like Mayweather, because it's not
cool.
gonna make them any money. That's just my
Okay,
opinion, though.
okay, but I understand that, and I can understand where you're coming from, and I
Uh
can't
huh.
agree with it. However, if you look at Mayweather, isn't he boxing in the sense that hit and not get hit?
Yeah, yeah, but I don't think the casual fans understand that, and they don't appreciate it.
I understand that.
So
So
that's why, yeah.
would you not say that would be anti-boxing then? Because
What
if
what
box,
trainers are doing nowadays?
well, yeah, if fighters are if casual fans don't like a guy that hits and doesn't get hit, and the
Mm-hmm.
whole art of spot boxing is hit and not get hit. That's the art of boxing. Then
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
then it would be anti-boxing, wouldn't it be something else?
Yeah, I mean, we talk about this all the time. It's a complete oxymoron. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't. I think I was just talking about this in someone's chat room the other day,
Mhm.
where I was saying boxing fans, they watch boxing but don't like boxing. Basically, that's the gist of it. They want it. They watch boxing, the sport of boxing, but they don't like the aspects of boxing,
Okay.
which
Do
is,
you
I don't. Uh
no,
huh.
go on. Go ahead.
Oh, what were we saying?
I was gonna say, do you know what the greatest fight of all time is to a casual fan?
Oh, who are you gonna say?
Gatti
I want
versus
to.
Ward.
Who?
Gatti versus Ward. Arturo Gatti versus Mr. Ward.
Oh, yeah, Arturo Gatti. They
Yeah,
think it's
but
Arturo
they
Gatti.
just stand in front of one another, just throwing punches at one another.
Yeah.
One person gets hit and the other
Uh,
person gets hit, and they've got no defense whatsoever, and
right.
blood's coming down like Rocky stories. That's what they like to see.
Yeah, exactly, exactly, and that's why they glorify Rocky, because that's what they want to see. And my thing is, if that's your style that you like, just go watch some MMA. Go watch some UFC. You know, the MMA fighters aren't the best strikers because they have to focus on other things. But when they go to MMA, they'll say, "Oh, well, I don't want to watch people wrestle on the ground." So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that new bare knuckle fighting championship thing will be good for them or something. If that's what you want to see. I don't I'm confused. I just want to see the sweet science return. I That's what I want to see. Back in the days where gentlemen used to frequent boxing matches, and all you it was quiet. If you look at old school footage, it was just quiet. You could hear people whispering among each other, and the commentators were hardly talking. It wasn't biased. Well, not that much. Of course there was some bias back in the day, but for the most part, the commentators were extremely quiet, and you can actually hear the fans talking amongst each other.
I tell you, I
That's what
tell
I
you,
want to see.
I tell you, a guy you could sit down and watch, and you can get all that, the whole list of his fights. His name's Johnny Nelson.
Johnny Nelson.
Yeah, you watch Johnny Nelson. He had a fight against, I think, Herring. And
Hmm.
supposedly, when he had this fight, you couldn't hear a pin drop. It was that boring.
Oh, boring. I
Yeah,
don't want boring.
yeah,
I
but,
prefer a chess match.
yeah, it was a chess match. It was just
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
yeah, but it
Thought
was
you meant
just
no
it was scary.
action.
Yeah, just watch Johnny Nelson. Oh, most of Johnny Nelson's career. Just watch that.
Right. And is he a modern fighter or or is this
Yeah,
way
no,
back?
he's on Sky Sports. He's a commentator, but he
Oh,
was
okay.
hit and not get hit. Right, he was one
Oh,
of them kind
Johnny
of guys.
Nelson. I think I know you're talking about. He's
Yeah,
kind of short.
no, he's kind of tall.
Oh, he's tall. Well, is he always on he's always
Sky
getting
Sports.
interviewed, huh?
Yeah, no, he's Sky Sports. He's always on Sky Sports. He's always calling every fight a 50-50 fight on Sky.
I think I know you're talking about.
Yeah, but he'd be a perfect example of a guy that hit and not
Right.
get hit, and
Mm-hmm.
and he got a lot of stick, but then he turned it
Mm.
around in his career, got humiliated, and then he came back, turned around his career, and he actually became WBO champion.
I might have to check him out. I think I know exactly who you're talking about, though.
But just remember, I didn't recommend him.
Okay, I remember that.
So, all right. So today, if you're looking at guys or girls who the sweet science of sport, who would you say are great examples of that?
Definitely Earl Spence, Terrence Crawford.
Terence Crawford.
Um, who else? Andre Ward before he
Oh
retired.
boy, my man.
Definitely. Yeah. Let me see. Let me see. Man, there's really when we're talking straight up and down
What about
boxing.
the Matrix?
Lomachenko, yeah, I guess, but I feel like he's lacking a lot of things, such as defense.
Mm.
Not I don't think it's poor, but I feel like well, I guess I'm trying to say, are you talking about elite level or just period people's styles?
Look, listen. I don't think Lomachenko's as good as Penna Whitaker, so I'm just putting it out there.
Right, right, right. Okay, yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
putting it
I would
out there,
say,
but
yeah.
I'm just putting it out there. Like, but
Right.
people would
Yeah, I would
argue
say,
me.
yeah, Lomachenko, definitely. I'm a fan of Lomachenko. Um, he's a very slick fighter, actually. So yeah, I would put him in there. Who else? Who else? Trying to think.
But to be fair, I could watch a Lomachenko fight and be entertained by him.
Me too.
I could be entertained, but I'm not. I think he's a very talented fighter,
hmm
but
But
you would think if you listen to the commentator, you think he's the greatest thing since sliced bread, the best fighter ever for ever.
yeah, yeah,
But
they like to overhype him.
and,
But
and
the thing is,
yeah. And if you only looked at him and you had only like a year or 2 or 3 or 5 years experience watching boxing, you'd probably believe those
mhm,
commentators. But if you've watched
right.
the sport 20, 30, 40, 50 years, you think, hold on a second, what this guy's doing here, Bernard Whitaker was doing it. And
hmm
Archie Moore was doing stuff like that. And so many other guys were doing stuff like that. He was not Lomachenko. If you ask Lomachenko, well, actually, okay, so this is your style. Where did it actually come from? Who did you watch to get that style? Where did they get
hmm
that style from? Where did that originate from? Or where did they get all their moves, step around, all that sort of stuff? I see Archie Moore step around people, the mongoose.
They'll say like, "Oh, it's his dancing trainer." That's what I hear.
Of course. Yeah, and the dancing trainer can't fight
That's
a
what I
lick.
hear.
But okay, yeah, all right. But look, I love
Yeah, but
Lomachenko, but
I would say the thing about him, why I respect him, is that he doesn't buy into the hype. You know, when they were trying to rank him pound for pound number one, he was saying, no, Terrence Crawford is. So I respect him for acknowledging that. He's confident, but he knows that there's levels. He understands that. So
I know you're
yeah.
trying to really forget about Rigondeaux. I know you are. I know you want to forget
Oh,
Rigondeaux.
that's who. Yes, thank you. Thank you. He totally just disappeared too. That's he
What
really
did
he
what
he
did you
disappeared after that loss. I forgot about him.
what did you disappear after that loss?
Yes, I haven't heard anything from him. I mean, I forgot that he was here, honestly, until you brought him up. I knew I was missing some names, but yeah, I love Rigo. I love Rico. It's unfortunate that he quit, but yeah, I love his style. I love his style so
We did
much.
a whole. We had a build up on our channel about Rigondeaux versus Lomachenko, and I got two
Mm-hmm.
closest guys who got on the channel. One was actually from our channel, one's from another channel.
Uh-huh.
Truth and Facts about boxing with Bo Bland, and we had this debate about why Lomachenko would win, why Rigondeaux would win, and it was the fight itself was terrible to watch, and I felt sorry for Bo afterwards because that was, and it was a whole
No.
bunch of Cuban fighters that
Uh-huh.
went for a bad. There was him, there was Ortiz, there was what's his name, there was another guy that got beat, a Cuban guy that got beat. He was unbeaten, and he put on a stinker of a performance as well. There was a whole bunch of them,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Well, I love Luis Ortiz. I would say he's a good boxer too, good technical boxer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would put him on my list of the sweet science, I guess.
Okay.
That's my new list. But I really can't think of anyone else at the time. Thank you for bringing up Rigo, though. He
Yeah.
literally dropped off the face of the earth. I forgot about him after that loss. I haven't heard anything from him since,
So
from his team, on social media. I don't think he's been really saying much, but yeah, I'm still a fan, though. Still a fan.
it's it's hard to when a guy does what he did and just disappear like that. You kind of think
Yeah,
to yourself, did he just fight for a payday? Because you ain't seen him since.
I think that's what it was. Because, he's been getting foul treatment out here. I mean, just the stipulations when they said if he wins, I believe it was if he beat Lomachenko, he wouldn't get Loma's belt, but if he lost, he would lose basically all of his belts. I believe that's what it was. And also, no one wanted to fight him, so that's why he had to move up 2 weight classes.
Mm.
So, I mean, I don't blame him for taking the payday. I really don't. He went through a lot. And that was a lot on his shoulders. And there's only so much you can do, especially you need to feed your family. He defected actually, so I mean, he needs the money. It's not
Absolutely.
like he's walking around here with millions.
Yep.
But I don't blame him. I don't blame
He
him.
did what he had to do, and fair play.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about a bit of the near the. I wouldn't say ridiculous, but what's your thoughts on geriatric boxing?
Jerry, huh?
Geriatric boxing.
What's that?
Well, it's kind of guys way past the sell-by date still boxing.
Yeah, like Pacquiao.
No, like Olin McCall. He's meant to fight on Saturday night. 53 years old.
Oh wow.
So he's
I don't think that's healthy for the brain, honestly, in boxing. Oh, you know what? I was just talking about this with someone on my friend World Breaker Fighting's channel.
yep.
They were
Shout
talking
out to
about
World Breaker.
how yes, yes. I don't know if he's in the chat or anything. I'm not looking at my phone, but we were just talking about that with him and also another guy, Jimmy J. Smooth. He was
Okay.
saying how in MMA you could probably get away with it. Boxing in your 50s, I mean, fighting in your 50s in MMA, but boxing, you just take too much damage to your brain. Getting hit constantly, and I'm not. And nowadays, boxers don't have the best defense because they don't teach them the best defense. So you're going to be getting hit a lot in the head. I don't think anyone past 50 should be unless you're sparring or something in the gym. But I don't think you should be.
All your Bernard Hopkins.
Yeah, yeah, you're gonna get knocked out the ring like he did. So, I mean, who knows what's going on in his head, in his brain right now? Probably
You,
some CTE,
you are
but
ordinary. I am special. Nobody said that. You're ordinary. I'm special. I'm like, can you imagine him having that conversation with his great grandchildren? That, like, your granddad, once fought a guy, and he turned around to the guy. Like, I said to the guy, he was ordinary. I said I was special, but I got knocked
and
out
he
the ropes.
knocked me out the ring. Yeah, could have died, man. I don't. Yeah, I don't think people should be competing rather, or even competing without headgear past 45. 45 should be a limit. But yeah, I don't necessarily agree with that. I probably wouldn't even watch it, especially if he gets knocked out. Ugh, that would be awful.
Well,
That'd be
McCall's never
awful.
been knocked. I don't think he's rumored to be knocked down or knocked out. In fact, he was the guy that knocked Tyson down in sparring, and he knocked Lennox Lewis out.
Hmm. Damn, he is old.
Yeah. Well,
Wow.
on the subject of Lennox Lewis, believe it or not, there's at the WBC convention. There's a rumor that Lennox Lewis and Vitaly Klitschko are going to be fighting in a rematch.
How old is Lennox?
Lennox must be in his 50s now.
I don't. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't. Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like you're way over your prime, unless you're on something, some sort of PEDs or
Let's
something.
go, champ. Let's go,
Yeah.
champ. Let's
Shannon
go,
Briggs.
champ.
He's wait. Is he? He's 50? Shannon Briggs is 50 too.
I don't know. I was watching Shannon Briggs fight Lennox Lewis. I
Right.
half an hour ago, I was watching that fight. I was like, dang, that was in 2000. No, oh wait, he fought him in 1998. He fought Lennox Lewis. Or yes, right.
Wow. Yeah. See, at a certain point, it's time to hang him up. And Shannon's didn't he? I think he tested for something as well, right?
Let's go, champ. Yes, he did.
Yeah. Yeah. See, you have to be on something. I
Well,
mean,
you have
and
to be on
maybe
something to go to a press conference and rip off your t-shirt, have your shirt off, and at 48 years old have a body better than a 21-year-old.
Yeah.
Go, champ, consistently all the time. And I love
Exactly.
Shannon, but I mean, he's probably one of the worst secrets in boxing. Yeah, he looked.
Well, maybe at past a certain age, they should be able to take something. I don't know. Maybe they should work it out. Then it'll probably be exciting. But you know, two fighters way past their prime in their 50s. I just don't think you should probably start training at that point. Maybe you should start training people. Be a coach. That'd be much better for you.
Big shout out to. Sorry, very quickly. Big shout out to the Cali League of Boxing and Sports.
Hey, Cali.
You,
I should pull up the chat. Yeah,
you should. You know what? Do you want to do the? Do you want to check the chat out? Let me know what's going on in the chat because I'm actually doing the window as well. It's not actually changing change over. So you can do the chat and I'll just do the window. So when you talk, I'll click it over to you, and when I talk, it'll click back to me. How does that sound?
No problem. Okay. Probably have a lot to catch up on.
Probably. So
Antonio McRae is in here.
Shout out to Antonio McRae.
He was the first one who commented. Let's see. Oh yeah, blood boxing. Ronald Finkley.
Let's talk about the LDBC. We may as well, because I think I mean, you're either going to get the LDBC talking about the LDBC, or you're going to get people hating on the LDBC. So I'll just come in the middle and be the person that just talks about the LDBC and
why
it was created, and kind of like, well, I know why it was created, but we can talk about it in a manner which is less divisive.
Right. Well, where do you want me to start? Why we get so much hate?
No, forget the hate. You can put that to one side. You just.
Oh, okay. Well,
hate.
It's mainly the main aspect of it, and it's how should I say?
Speak your truth. That's all I do at this point. Your truth.
It's basically it was created by 78 Sports TV.
78 Sports TV. Shout out to 78 Sports TV. What's going on, brother? Go ahead.
Yes. And there are many generals. And basically it's
Lions in the camp. Lions in the camp. Sorry.
Yes. Lions Den boxing community.
Yes. Lions.
Yes. And lionesses. I don't know what the plural is.
Lions.
Yes. But basically it's a collective of Black people who, not only just Black people, but that's the main aspect of it. It's for us to separate from the mainstream, or what we call old media, and have our own narratives, to speak our truth and, tell our side of the story. For example, 78 has said this many times, that the reason why Deontay Wilder has gotten so much popularity in the States is because of the LDBC. So many of our own media people in the States, the American media basically, has been, for whatever reason, has been trying to tear down Wilder's image and uplift Anthony Joshua. And that's why the LDBC is here, so we can get our side of the story. That 78 has interviews with Deontay Wilder that no one talks about, where he speaks his side of the negotiations. No one really talks about what Deontay Wilder was trying to do. All they do is, repeat what Eddie Hearn says, what AJ says, and they think that's the truth without checking out 78's interviews with Wilder or anything else.
Right.
Like he was on the Breakfast Club, which is a popular radio show out here. I don't know.
Yes, yes, I
If,
know it very well.
yeah,
I,
yeah,
I do. I researched the Breakfast Club.
yeah.
I want to have a Breakfast Club for the UK, basically. So yeah, of course.
You should get one. You should get one.
Oh,
You'd be
if
good for
anyone's
that.
going to do it, I'll do it.
But they don't really look at, well, even if they do, they just go on to hate. So for whatever reason, this is just an example. For whatever reason, they hate Deontay Wilder, and the LDBC is here to combat all of the negative propaganda against him. I guess that's the best way I can put it. They
Okay.
could explain it
Okay.
much better
Okay. All right. Okay.
than me.
Look, I understand the LDBC is for a place of people of color, and I understand that people of color at times can be misrepresented. That I
Right.
understand. But I also understand that people of color misrepresent themselves anyway. We don't, as a people, we don't need an excuse to misrepresent ourselves. Sometimes we
True.
are buffoonery and we do a lot of stupidness and we
Hmm.
misrepresent ourselves. It
Like
highlights
Adrian
us
Broner.
all because there are people out there that have already got negative undertones towards us. Okay, that
Right.
is what it is. What it is. And I do agree that there needs to be a forum, or there needs to be a place where people can feel that they can express themselves and express their opinion without the need to be vilified or to be attacked or to have spin doctors in place. And
Right.
anybody who decides to fight for truth and speak the truth will get vilified because they're more sheep and shepherd in the world than there are actually people that have got their own mindset. If a
Uh-huh.
promoter says pigs will fly, then the 95% of people say, "Yep, the promoter said it, so pigs will fly." And if
Exactly.
and if that promoter actually owns half of the media outlets and is paying for that article to be "pigs will fly," then all that promoter says is "pigs will fly," and then the media outlets pick it up, and then the fans say, "Well, if it's in this particular media outlet and if it's said by this promoter, then it's got to be the truth." And anybody who goes against that is vilified. You see,
Hmm.
so now it's very easy to jump on use and pull the race card. Very easy to do it, and I try my best not to um, use it because it can be a sucker's way out to get out of things. But that doesn't mean there shouldn't be a platform. The conversation needs to be
Right.
opened up because if the conversation
Hmm.
is not opened up and we don't talk about these things, then I'm not saying that we have to ask for permission. Hell no. I do believe you should have your own, and I do believe in ownership. But I also do understand that sometimes when building a bridge, sometimes you need different mindsets to help build that bridge. You understand?
Right.
Work together to make it happen.
Hmm.
So the idea is great, but sometimes it can be misconceived because some people say certain things because they don't understand the cultural differences. The cultural difference between a black person from the UK and a black person in America, the cultural differences are so different, so different.
Hmm.
And
Right.
that
True.
is something where if you're brought up in a world, but if you're in America and you're brought up around the civil rights movement, the NAACP, you've got the Nation of Islam very strong out there with Minister Farrakhan. You've got a lot of political things going on out there, and a lot of big figures such as Malcolm X, and then you've got your basketballers, Kobe Bryant, and all the different superstars and stuff in America. Your mindset's very different to what it is being in the
Hmm.
UK, and you're not very much you're not in tune to those things unless you go out and search for those things. In America, it's in your face. In the
Right.
UK, you have to
Exactly.
kind of go and do the research about it, you know.
Hmm.
And so therefore the mindsets are very different. The mindsets are very, very different. And so when the conversations are being said, sometimes it's perceived that when somebody from America is speaking, particularly somebody of color is speaking, is perceived as they're aggressive and they're nasty, and when they use terms as black and white, it sometimes may come across as it being racist. It's not being racist at all. It just is being, it's just expressing yourself in a manner which is how the culture is shaped over there. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
And people
Mm-hmm.
sometimes are fed up. They're fed up of having to. They're not being given an even opportunity, an even playing field. So instead of having an even playing field, said, you know what? Hell, I'm fed up playing with you. I've given you my ball to play with. You've abused me when I give you my ball. So to hell with you. I'm not wasting my time with you. I'm gonna take my ball. I'm gonna take it somewhere else instead. So you create your own movement.
Right.
And so
Right.
therefore,
Exactly.
then it becomes a them versus us.
Well, that's not really the main
Objective.
goal.
No, it isn't.
Yeah.
That's
If it happens, then it happens. If we're being attacked, then
you have to
of
defend
course we have
yourself.
to. Yeah.
Of
But
course.
we're not I don't think that the main goal is to be confrontational. It's just
No.
really to negate the to combat the negative propaganda against people in our country, such as Wilder, for example.
Of course.
Because
Now,
he's being bashed in the media for no reason, and well,
oh
we
no,
know the reason.
no. There are reasons. There's not no reason.
Yeah,
There are
yeah,
reasons. There are
yeah. It's a
clear
lot.
reasons what it
It's
is.
very, yeah. It's a very deep reason,
Hmm.
but that's why we're here. And
But
if they weren't
again,
doing that, then we wouldn't be, out here pushing. I don't hear anyone really in the LDBC talking about, you know, uh, I don't. No one's really radical like people say, and I guess that really kind of goes to the hate that we get. Like, for example, I get trolls on my page who say that the LDBC is full of tribalism and racism, when in fact we're not. We're completely open to everyone. We just need our own platform to push out again our narrative. But
well,
people have a problem with that
well,
because they're
we'll, we'll
intimidated.
have we'll have a discussion with those people and ask those people. Listen, listen. I don't give a damn what they say. I don't care what their opinion is and what they say about you.
Right.
The troll says this. I don't care. They don't pay my wage. They don't do nothing for me. Absolutely nothing. And the fact that I have to sit down and talk to a faceless, nameless individual and justify myself to somebody who doesn't
Right.
care for me in the first place is it's
Waste
not.
of time. It's a waste of time.
Well, of course, it's a waste of time. So
Yeah.
just do your thing because they're
Mhm.
doing their damn thing. That's what the block button's there for. That's what the block button
Yeah.
is there for. Like today, we had a
Mhm.
troll come on my channel and say to me, "Oh, what is it to me? You have been on your channel for 8 years." Well, that was incorrect, and you've got only 4.4 and a half or just under 5,000 subscribers. Didn't say that I had 2.5 million views. Didn't mention that, but said and that's my second channel. I only recently opened up, so it was inaccurate. So I actually did a live show during the live show talking about mental health. I actually went through the process on how to block a troll live.
Mhm. I'll have to watch that.
It was the most delightful experience. Somebody come on. So it's like somebody coming into your room. You invite them to your house, and they're
Mhm.
disrespectful on your front door, and they come into your house. Like if I come to your house now, I walk into your house, yeah, and I just walk into your house. Don't even acknowledge you. Walk into your house, go into your house, go into your fridge, eat out your food, and then sleep on your bed, and then go burn a weed and put the weed after I finish. I put my cigarette butts in your couch, and go in your toilet and don't flush it, and then look at you and say, "Yeah, what? What's wrong? I'm not being abusive. I'm just
Yeah.
a piece." That is the mentality of a lot of some of these people who have got absolutely no social skills. They cannot communicate. They've got no communication skills whatsoever,
Mhm.
or lacks communication skills and social skills. And so it's those kind of people that when you try to have a logical debate with will make you absolutely furious. I've been doing this almost 10 years now. Make you absolutely furious. So you can't
Right.
debate people like that. But
Yeah, it gets frustrating. It
of course
gets
it does. So
frustrating.
what you've got to say is, look, this is maybe I'm not telling the LDBC what to do, obviously not, but I I'm conscious that the LDBC, when I look in the mirror, don't look no different to me. So I can't sit on the platform of BWTM Sports or BWTM and just say, "Oh, well, I'm at BWTM. Let them get over that stuff over there, and I'll get over my stuff over here." No, 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 no. Because I'm looking at people that look like myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I have always keep an eye on it, and I'm always there, and I'm always seeing what's going on. And every so often, I'll pull over someone like 78 over or blood boxing over, bring them over and have a chat with them. And to me,
Mm-hmm.
that what they say and what their opinion is down to them. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't view them any differently to if I viewed any of the old media and asked the old media to come on the channel and speak. Because as far as I'm concerned, I'm treating everybody with a fair line in my
Mm-hmm.
house. In my
Right.
house.
Right. Yeah, that's fair.
You understand?
That's fair.
In my house.
Mm-hmm.
What they do outside my house, I frankly don't care about. But in my
Okay.
own house, there's going to be a line where I'll treat people fairly. And
Right.
if they're not fair, they get out of my house and they stay out of my house, never to come back.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's a good platform now. And I think for the most part, we treat everyone kind of on an even plane too. Until, like you said, if there's any disrespect or anything or blatant attacks, then yeah, you're gonna have to get out.
BLOCK, block,
Hmm.
remove, report,
Exactly.
block, remove, report, block, remove, report, repeat, block, remove, report. That's it. That's it.
Right.
Point where you get to point where it becomes fun. You come on the channel, you block them, you report them, and they just do it. Just have 3 moderators in a room, block, report. That's it. So I know some of the nuisances that are on YouTube.
Hmm.
I know some of the nuisances. Just block them. Just
Yeah, I'm
block them.
starting to get them on my channel.
Then you're doing something right. Join the gang.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So now I know you've got a good channel. See, if you weren't getting any trolls, then I know your channel's not worth talking about. But
Right.
congratulations, join the gang. Well done. You're doing something right.
Yes, obviously, obviously.
Oh, my man, Miles Cobbett, brother, I need to bring you in the room. And when I bring you in the room, not tonight, but when I bring you in the room, we're going to talk about that show. We're going to talk about your book that you've got out. I'm really interested in it. So
We're talking about Fury. Frank Warren messed up with Fury's opponent announcement today. What happened?
I
What
don't
happened?
know. I don't know, but as far as I'm concerned, the whole thing's a joke at the moment. So
Yeah, I honestly think so too.
I
I
did an
mean,
interview with Evander Holyfield on our channel live.
uh-huh. Oh, really?
Yeah, Evander said that he didn't think that Tyson Fury could get back to the top again. He says that it takes a certain sort of dedication to get back to the top, and he didn't feel that Fury would be able to do that.
I don't think so either. I honestly think he just came back for a payday to kind of get some money from the casuals who think that
Don't say
his
things like
last
that.
fight.
Don't say things like that because it could be the truth. We don't do that.
That's what I feel like. He just came back, maybe he owes somebody money or
And you wonder
something.
why you've got trolls on your
But
channel. Keep it going.
I'm just saying, I'm not the only one with this opinion, but I think he just owes a certain kind of someone some money, and he came back and he's trying to pay off, his party expenses. I'll just say that.
An interesting take on it. I mean, we'll have to wait and
Hmm.
see how that goes. We'll have to wait and see how he goes. But while
I
he's
don't think
having these,
I think he may fight Wilder to cash out, and that'll be his last fight. Because right now, how he is, he's not the Fury he used to be. And he fought a cruiserweight his last bout, which it was an awful bout to look at, and it was weird. It was very weird too, but I'm not even gonna go there. But yeah, I think he just came back to get a payday. It's pretty obvious. Yeah, teach their own.
don't say that.
Gonna get the casuals upset. And there's nothing wrong with being a casual fan either. I don't, but just know when you're getting pimped out by a promoter. Just know that
So
when they're
so
selling you. garbage, or what you guys say rubbish. If they're
Mm.
selling you rubbish, then don't buy it. At least be a good casual fan.
So, a woman of color that's outspoken. Great. And talking about and talking about fighters coming just for a payday. Fantastic. And you wonder why your channel's got troll. Keep
Yeah,
going.
well,
Keep
yeah.
working.
Thank you.
And
Yeah, it's
still on
cool
the
being on a
rise.
UK channel too.
What's
This is
that?
my literally. I said it's cool being on a UK channel too. I've never had a face-to-face conversation with. What do you guys? I don't know. Is there a difference between English and British when
Yes,
you're
there is
referring
a
to?
big difference. And it was
There
started
is.
by racist Margaret Thatcher. I'll explain British and English.
Okay.
My English counterparts, but British means you're basically an alien. If you're British, that means that your family, your descendants, that your grandparents, your parents and your grandparents are not from the UK. That means they're not white. That's what British was about. So it's an example. It meant like
Oh.
that's why I had the British passport back in the 80s. That's at that time, and people don't want to talk about it. But back in the 80s in Britain, Margaret Thatcher wanted to send a whole heap of the Caribbeans that were here from the West Indies, told them to go back home. She was trying to kick them out of the country. That's where the British passport started off. So all these people talk about their British passport. British means basically you don't belong to the country as such because you may have been born here, but your parents weren't born here. That's what defines you as British. And English
Right.
would mean that you're born here and your parents would have been born here as well, and their grandparents would have been born. So that's the difference between defining.
So you
If
have to
somebody
be a
says,
European descent,
yeah, yes,
basically.
well, no, English
Okay.
descent, English
Oh,
descent.
well, you said white though. So English men are, well, the
Yeah. So
term
if you're
Englishman means a native of England.
so if you're born here, and then
Right.
you're born here, and then your mum's born here, and then yeah, so yeah, so you're it's got to be it's like a lineage. It's got to be
Oh,
lineage.
okay,
You know
okay.
what I mean?
So the
So
race doesn't matter though. Does the race matter?
I think so. Yeah, it does. It does.
Oh, okay.
Because British was just to
Okay.
define that you being an alien. That was you're an alien country. That's what it
Right.
basically meant.
Sorry about that dog. He's always barking
Well, that's what
every time.
basically it meant back then. I don't. That's what it was back then. Unfortunately, that was Margaret Thatcher and all that stuff. So we can thank the Iron Lady for that.
Well, I know the difference now. So AJ is British. You wouldn't call him English,
No, no, he'll never be English ever.
right?
He'll what happen?
Okay.
What will happen? Yeah, here you go. English means white. British means you're foreign by race. There you go.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. That's what I was trying to get at. So
So there you go. That's what it's all about.
okay.
So where was I? Yeah, so that's how it works. Oh, so it's the first time you've been on a UK channel.
Yes,
Well,
yes. Well,
actually,
and
can you,
actually speaking to a British man.
okay, a British man. So you're talking to British. Well, actually, you're not on a UK channel because BWTM actually is American.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Let me think. What's the place now? I can't remember the places now. Place. Oh dear me. Oh, I can see the Wyoming. That's where
Oh, really?
is in Wyoming.
Wyoming. That's
Yes.
cool. That's cool.
There you
That's
go.
where my
So
home state is near. My home
there you
state's
go.
right near Wyoming.
There you go. So yeah, BWT is American. It's not British.
Okay.
It's just that I have the British accent.
Yeah. Yeah. That's first time talking to someone with a British accent. It's
There you
cool.
go. See, there you go.
Yeah.
See, is that the first time in your life talking to somebody with a British accent?
Well, you know what? A couple weeks ago at work, this English family walked in, and I heard the accent. She said she was from Manchester, I think,
Yeah, well, it wouldn't be.
or
Yeah, if you're
something.
Manchester, then the accent would be very different to the London.
Yeah,
I'm from
but it was
London.
weird because there's not a lot of Stockton's not really the area where you get foreigners like that for touring and stuff. So, and like the other day, there was a Russian family that walked in. They were speaking Russian and they were watching the World Cup at my job. It was cool. It's cool. I've never been in Europe though. I really want to go.
I'm
I would
sure
like to
that's. I'm
go.
sure if you keep on saying it enough, it's going to happen for you.
Yeah, hopefully. Just
If you
everything's expensive.
if you believe those sort of things, then you never know what could happen.
Yeah.
Keep
Yeah.
up this boxing thing. You never know. Somebody may pick you up and say, "Hey, here's an opportunity. Come to Europe."
Oh, that would be nice. Do something I like to do
There
instead of
you go.
working.
There you go.
Yeah.
So put your mind on it, focus on it, and who knows what can happen in this world.
Yeah.
Once upon a
Hey.
time, once upon a time, I thought I'd love to have a YouTube channel, and then I thought, I'd like to be on have an online TV station. And now I'm thinking to
Hmm.
myself, maybe one day I'll have my own
UK
satellite.
Breakfast Club.
Oh, 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 I want that. You don't know how much I want that.
Hey,
You
you
know,
should get on it before someone else does.
no, if I get
Do
it, I
it.
don't worry. No, I'll get it. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about it. We got the studios already, so we're done. We're sorted. We just need the personnel. So
Yeah.
we just need that. We
Gotta
just need
get.
that. We just need that American girl who knows her boxing and knows about science.
I see you. I see what you're trying to do. I see what you're trying to do.
People skills. People skills.
Yeah.
Sorry, LDBC, but no, no. Of course, we're all one lovely people
Oh.
in here. So, um, let's talk more. Let's talk Joshua versus Wilder. I've heard your opinions on Joshua versus Wilder.
Hmm.
They left me my belly hurting. I was rolling around the floor
Are you
laughing.
really an AJ fan?
What made you thought I was an AJ fan?
Oh, oh, I thought you said hurt your belly, as in what kind of term is that? What does
It
that mean
made
out
me
there?
laugh. I bet
Oh, okay,
I
okay,
bust my belly. That's like a West Indian term. So I was
okay.
laughing.
I'm still trying to figure out you
That was
guys'
that was West
slang.
Indian. That was West Indian lingo there. That wasn't British. That was West Indian. That was a
Okay.
Caribbean thing.
Let me
Yeah.
know when you're using British lingo, though.
I
That
will
way
do. I bust my belly was like
Okay.
a West Indian lingo. Basically means you're making me laugh. My stomach was hurting me.
Right.
It was. I think it was called Eddie
I'm glad I could make you
Hearns.
laugh.
Yeah, you made me laugh. Yeah, it was Eddie Hearns. It was about Joshua and Wilder and their relationship, and Eddie Hearn, Joshua and Wilder, the three amigos. It was funny. I
Mm,
find it so funny. Yeah.
yeah. So, what do you think about AJ though, from
Do I
a
personally rate him?
British perspective? Yeah, this will be interesting.
I think he should have kept his damn mouth shut. I think he spoke out of turn. You see, what happened was this. This is what happened. If he had kept his mouth shut, this Wilder thing wouldn't have come up because he said after the Klitschko fight, you know, I'll do exactly expression. Let me make sure my hands out. Make sure you can get me on the camera because you can see it.
Mhm.
Josh goes, you know, Deontay Wilder is out there. Watch the hands out there. 2019. He said that to a crowd. I
Mhm.
said, all right, okay. So 2019, I'll accept it. 2019. Then I see him in an interview saying, for 50 million, yeah, I'll take that fight for 50 million. That point right there. The minute he said that, the floodgates opened up because then Deontay went, huh? 50 million? I can get that. Let me go see
Mhm.
my friend Al. So 50 million comes
Right.
up. Boom on the table. Let's have the fight.
I'm not gonna
Yeah,
sell my soul for 50 million.
yeah.
That is the most. Oh man. Oh man.
You know what I think happened? I think that his team, he said some he's been saying some things that were
Mhm.
against what the promoter wanted. The promoter wanted him to fight Wild in 2019. He was on board with the 2019 thing. Then somebody brought up the 50 million thing, and then he responded to it. Maybe not so smart in responding to it. And there's a few other things that have come along with AJ, which I'm not quite understanding. Like he says, Eddie does what he does, and our team do what we do. So it sounds to me, well, is
That
Eddie
doesn't make
working for you,
sense.
or are you
Yeah.
doing your own thing?
I
See,
think.
there's three
Uh.
of them. There's three sets. There's Eddie, there's AJ Boxing, and then there's those people in Dubai.
Right. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you never talk about the people in Dubai.
He was out there for like a week or two.
Yeah. That I'm more interested in them trips to Dubai,
Right.
what Eddie has to say, because he has proven already that he cannot be trusted in what he says. The only thing you can be trusted about is about Tyson Fury. And do you know why you can be trusted about him? Because he didn't get signed Tyson. That's why. So I trust Eddie on that. But
Mm-hmm.
I remember back in the day where when Eddie Hearn said Frampton wouldn't be able to get the big fights if he left him. Well, of course, he left Eddie Hearn and he went and got the big fights. Leo Santa Cruz, Scott Quigg fight. So he got the big fights and he became world champion as well. So I just, as far as I'm concerned, I don't trust 98% of what Eddie Hearn says. And I'm just being honest, I just don't.
Right.
And he told me to my face he's a bullshitter of a smile. So that being said, he does a brilliant job as a promoter.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
he's
he's a
meant to
good.
do.
Yeah, he's a pretty good promoter. And you know what? I really didn't have a problem with Eddie until up till the point, because I understood that he's doing what promoters do, like you said, but
Yep.
I stopped liking him or having any sort of respect for him once he made those comments about Wilder, where he said, where does some guy from Alabama get $50 million? And
Oh
you can
dear.
look at it from two perspectives. As an American, it's disrespectful to the state of Alabama because it seems as if he doesn't know his history. The South actually still generates a lot of wealth in general. The South in general generates a lot of wealth for this country. And two, it sounds like he's kind of speaking in code when he says some guy from Alabama. That's all I'll say about that.
Listen,
But
listen.
that was the day I officially lost respect for Eddie as a
The great,
person.
the greatest trickery in the world was when Eddie Hearn went out to America and he went, "Anybody know who John T. Wilder is?" But he never went and said, "Does
Right.
anyone know who Anthony Joshua is?" At the same time, he didn't do that.
Yeah, because no one knows. Yeah, I know. Nobody knows AJ out here. They
He
really
went
don't.
to
He's
America.
known as Anthony Johnson out here. Butchered his name, and that's what they call him now. He went to a Warriors game, Golden State Warriors game, which is the most poppin' basketball team right now, and they butchered his name at that game. So that's what he's known for. Nobody knows AJ out here, despite his media tour. He was on the Conan show and the whole nine. Still, nobody knows who he is. So, man, yeah, he's Eddie. He's like a sorcerer or something. He does sorcery to get it. What Black Pipe and TV calls it, is Eddie Hearn pixie dust. That's basically what it is. He'll go somewhere, blow some pixie dust in your face, and people are entranced by him. But anyways, continue. Yeah.
Not the guest of my show. Bermain cussed him out about 4 times. Peter Fury cussed him out about 3 times. So no,
Mm,
no, 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 no. It is what it is. And he does what he does. I try not to talk too much about him because
right.
I don't see no point to talk about him personally.
Yeah.
He just happens
He's
to
a
be the
promoter.
guy. But yeah, I don't talk much about him. If I can help it, I try not to use his name. But it is what it is. AJ, I think his big test for me is what he should have done. If I were managing AJ, his ass would have been out in America a long time ago. His ass would have been out in
Mm-hmm.
America. His next fight now should be in America.
You
In
think?
proper,
I don't think he's gonna come out here.
pardon?
I don't think he's gonna come out here ever. I don't think he'll ever come out here.
You don't
They'll
think so?
probably throw tomatoes when he gets off the plane. Because now when they hear AJ, when people hear about Anthony Joshua, when I ask people that I know out here, they say, "Oh yeah, the guy who's scared of Wilder." So no one really respects Anthony Joshua out here at all. I mean, if he comes out here, it's not going to be a good welcoming. Maybe from some people who support the media who bashes Wilder, but for the most part, he's not really respected out here, and I really don't think he has the kahunas to come out here either.
Interesting. The guy who's fought around the world, and he fought. I'll give Anthony Joshua his credit. I think if you look at Anthony Joshua, and I'm not sure if you're aware of Anthony Joshua in the UK, he is like he's a promoter's dream. He has
Right.
got his own boxer shorts. He's on aftershave. He's on deodorant. He's got his own. He's selling water. you know, it's AJ everything. I'm surprised I haven't got AJ protection like Durex yet. It's coming, but at the end of the day, it's coming. It is coming, and so at the end of the day, I think that he's one of those guys that they're going to market the hell out of and make the most out of him. Okay, so they're smart. They know. I think they know that AJ hasn't got the fan base to take him to America yet, but they've done nothing to build that fan base. I don't
Right.
think.
Because I don't. You just can't sell him in America after this whole turning down $50 million. No one in America is really going. I mean, you see what they did to Keith Thurman. Keith
Keith,
Thurman was very well respected until
Keith
he
used,
started
Keith used
ducking Errol Spence.
I know he used to ring my house all the time, Keith, all the
Mm.
time. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and then he became Big Shot Keith Thurman.
Right.
Then he became Once Upon a Time Keith Thurman.
Right. And now
And
no one
now
really respects him.
he's not Duck Thurman. He isn't Duck Thurman. What happened was during the time of Thurman Garcia, Thurman Porter, during that time, he's been paid. Sorry, let me rephrase that. He's been overpaid. Okay,
Right.
Thurman got overpaid, and so what's happened now is Thurman's angry. He's upset because he's not being paid the money that he was going to get for a Garcia fight or a fight against Porter. So he's like saying, "Nah, I'm not coming back to boxing if you're not giving me the money that I want." That's what's happened, and so therefore they can't pay him the money that he was once being overpaid. Fat cat. So now what's happened is the fat cat no longer is allowed to be fat, and he's not happy about it because he was spoiled earlier on. So his real worth, a lot of these fighters, their real worth, what they should have been getting paid, they were getting paid double and triple that. That's why you listen to all these fighters that go, oh, all thanks to Al Heyman, because Al Heyman was paying them a hell of a lot of money, inflated
Yeah,
prices.
that's true. That's
So,
true.
so now you have a situation where I think they were sniffing around for Errol Spence, but Errol Spence signed a new contract. But see, Keith,
Is that what happened?
I understand he signed a new contract. That's what I heard. Before they were sniffing around him, and that was I
With
heard
Al
that
Heyman,
about.
though,
I heard that
right?
happened about at least 5 months ago. And I've got a good relationship with Derek James. I can always check that out.
Hmm. I don't know. When you look at his interviews, he always looks kind of shook when Errol Spence is mentioned. I feel
Okay.
like there's a bit of fear there
Let me ask you a
as
question.
well.
Let me ask you a question.
Uh,
If you had Errol Spence on you, and you knew you had to fight Errol Spence, would you look a bit shook too?
well, if I'm a world boxing champion,
That recently got married and he's getting put
yeah.
and he's getting put on you good and proper, and you're understanding the sweet stuff of life, right? Do you really want to be dealing with Errol Spence? Really?
No, I would just drop the belts in.
No, you can't do that. You
Yeah,
can't
you
do that because
can.
no, you
You
can't because
can do that.
baby, as he says, baby, I ain't letting that old go. I'm not letting that old go. So there you go.
So what? Who's
He
he
ain't
gonna
afraid
fight
to
when
let
he
it
comes
go.
back?
He
Who do
ain't
you think
afraid
he's
to.
gonna fight?
What's that?
Who do you think he's gonna fight when he comes back?
His wife?
Wait, what?
His wife?
You think he's gonna fight his wife when he comes back?
What I'm saying is that he's got to fight his wife before he comes back.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Well,
Listen, you
he's scheduled for what, August 4th, right?
is he?
Yeah, that's what I heard. Hold on, let me Google it.
Oh
They said
no,
he's
he
supposed to
wasn't.
come back
Wait,
August
hold on a
4th
second. He was scheduled before that, wasn't he? Scheduled to come back and fight Jesse Vargas.
in May. In May,
Yes,
I
all
believe.
right.
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, never mind, my elbow still hurts." So,
No, I don't. I have to see. I have to see more from Thurman. And you know when I know when Thurman's fighting? I'll tell you when I know when Thurman's fighting. Where you see his big face on all the social media and him talking and
mhm.
doing interviews. That's when I know Thurman's back.
So it's just all
Nah, I
crap
want.
that they're
You know
talking.
when I know Thurman's fighting is when you see Thurman's big face up with suit and tie with that ponytail talking about him coming back and fighting. That's when I know Thurman's fighting. If you don't see no Thurman in no videos, then you know Thurman ain't come back to do nothing.
Well, he's back home. That's what it says on his Twitter. But I thought someone said he's supposed to be coming back, unless I read it wrong.
To do what though?
To fight.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know, man.
Okay.
That's what I saw.
Listen,
That's what I saw.
some people have to get their married life, man. They're not the same, man. That fire and that hunger goes. That wild lion gets tamed by a lioness.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
And what would you rather be doing? Hooking up and fighting with Errol Spence or blowing your little flute up in the mountains?
I would be blowing my flute in the mountains, but I'm not Keith Thurman.
No,
I'm a boxing fan.
Yeah.
I want to see some undisputed.
Keith Thurman, you're talking here. This is Keith Thurman over here.
Yeah.
I mean, my man wanted to get to a certain place. He was hungry. He wanted to get to a certain place. You can't call him a chicken because he went and fought Porter and he went and fought Garcia, almost back to back, right? So you can't knock him for that. He did do that. He provided those fights for us. Did he not?
Yeah. But
so,
he doesn't fight Spence. So he won't fight Spence.
All right, listen,
if you're coming back, a tune-up is fine. I don't mind a tune-up.
Hold on.
Maybe even two tune-ups.
Okay. Spence. I love Spence. I love Derek James. But hold on a second. Just back up a second.
Okay.
What gives Spence so much shine? Explain to me. He beats Kell Brook. Already got beat up by Golovkin. Okay, put him to one side. So who else are we talking about here? Come on, tell me why Spence should be getting all this fanfare. I want to know. And I love Spence. I love Spence.
Yeah, I see what you mean. But the fact is, he can't prove exactly how elite he is if other fighters are ducking him. Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, come on, no one will fight him. So
hold on. You can move up in weight.
Right. He can, but he wants to unify his division, though.
You can move up in weight. Lions.
But why can't he unify his division?
You can move up in weight. Lion, move up in weight.
But he wants to unify his division. I don't see what's wrong with that.
Oh, Golovkin wants to unify his division, and
Golovkin is just saying that. Okay, he's not. He didn't try and fight a no-name in Mexico before he got stripped.
Okay. I love Spence, right? I love Spence.
Right.
I do think he's slightly overrated, and I'll explain this point. I don't think he's as defensively unique as everyone is saying he is. I think Spence is very. I think he's a good fighter. I think he gets hit too often. I think he moves in straight lines a lot. I think he doesn't move his head enough. And I think at the moment he's a bully at that weight. I want to see somebody who's just as physically strong as him, who can back him up and punish him for fighting in straight lines and not moving his head. That's what I want to see. Keith Thurman, it'd be interesting to see how he does against Keith Thurman. I understand the fight. But other than Keith Thurman, put Keith to one side a second. Who has fought Danny Garcia? Who has fought Sean Porter? Actually, tell me. Let's go to. We're going to be at the table. We'll come to the table now. Yeah, I'm from the Keith Thurman table, and you're from the Errol Spence table. Okay, so you come to the table. Let's talk this out, right? Right. So you say. So you want to fight my boy Keith? Okay. So Beverly, you want to fight Keith? I understand. So who's the A side in this?
Keith Thurman.
Okay. Okay. Hold on. All right.
Oh, you're really talking A side, B side. Are we really doing that?
No. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Let's not put it this way. Okay. Forget A side, B side. Let's try this again. Okay. Let's bring your BoxRec resume up to the table, and I'll bring my BoxRec resume up to the table.
I'll do that right now.
Bring your resume up. I'll bring my resume. Well, I don't need to bring my resume up. I've just told you. So I've said Porter and Garcia. What are you bringing to the table? Bundu?
Okay. You're right. But I'm saying, why won't these men won't fight him though? They won't fight him. So
fresh. Somebody fresh. Errol Spencer's beaten. Fresh. I'm not saying somebody's been beaten up already. Okay. You had what's his name? What's this guy? What's this boy? You can't punch for Fickle. What's his name? Chris Algieri.
Okay.
Who walked through Chris Algieri, but Chris Algieri wasn't even meant to be at that weight division. So I'm not knocking Errol Spence. I'm just bringing it up, right? He fought Bundu, who Thurman already beat, and Bundu had retired and come back. Yes, I know Spence knocked him out, and that was really good performance.
Okay.
Then he fought Kell Brook, who already had one eye missing, right? And got beat up by Golovkin, right? Then, so hold on. So wait. So you're telling me that Keith Thurman is ducking a man that fought a guy that got beat up by Golovkin, right? Brook, and then he he's stuck in a guy that he already beat, Big Bundu. So I, I want to understand. I know it sounds good on paper that he's ducking Spence, but really, what has Spence done to be ducked? Please explain.
Again, I'm going back to my point. It's what can Spence do if no one wants to fight him?
No,
And okay,
no,
let me ask
no.
you a question. Let me ask you a question. So
Please do.
why
Being the A side, being the world champion, the WBC champion, WBC champion, being the guy that's fought Porter and Garcia yet again.
So okay, so who is Keith going to fight? What names is he going to fight?
Don't worry about Keith. Who are you going to fight?
We have if you're talking about A side, B side, because Earl is getting a lot of popularity in his home state right now.
That's nice. But who's he fought? Who has he fought?
Again, it's not fair to say that if no one wants to fight him.
Who has he fought? Who has
no one
he
as
fought?
credible as Keith.
That's it. Not credible. You can't come to the table. It's not a conversation. It's mythical. It's fantasy. It's a nice fantasy. Oh, I'd like to get with that girl. Oh, I'd like to get with that guy. Oh, those two look nice. I'd like to eat that food, but I can't afford it. Sounds nice.
On so paper, it's about money. Okay, if it's about money, then obviously it's a big risk for him.
It's about facts. The fact of the matter is, who has Errol Spence beat?
I just told you, no one as credible as Keith. But I don't think that's fair. I don't think it's fair in boxing to bring up resumes when you're talking about unification. When you're talking about unification, a champion should unify regardless. That's my take. That's my whole thing. I want to see unification. That's like condoning AJ not fighting Wilder because there's bigger names he can fight.
No, I understand. No. Wilder, and we just put them two guys aside for 1 second. One fought Ortiz, the other one fought Klitschko. Put them two guys away a second. At least both of those guys fought named opponents. I mean, just put them two guys aside for a second. We're going back to this whole Spence thing a second. And again, I love Spence. But I go back to ask the question. Like, you know when you apply for a job, yeah? Apply for a job, and I say, oh, don't worry about my CV. Don't worry about my CV. Just take me on for the job. Does that work?
This is boxing, though. I'm speaking from a purist perspective. I want to see champions unify. That's all I want to see is champions unify. If Keith can beat him, then beat him. Why won't he unify? Who is he going to fight? Tell me, who is Keith Thurman going to fight? Who is Keith Thurman going to fight?
Golden Girl Productions, right? I want to be the CEO of Golden Girl Productions. It's not gonna happen.
That's not the same thing.
It's the same thing.
I'm talking about two boxers. I'm talking about two boxers. So answer me this: who is Keith going to fight? That's a more credible name. Who is he going to fight? Where what's more lucrative? Instead of unifying the belts.
Are you asking this as Errol Spence's manager? Because if you're asking as Errol Spence's manager,
no, See, you're looking from a business perspective. That's not what I'm looking at it as.
That's why Keith's not fighting at the moment.
Okay. All right. As Errol Spence's manager, Beverly Rose, the manager, I'm going to ask you, as Keith manager, who are you going to fight that's going to bring you more money than Spence right now? What's going to be more lucrative than a unification bout?
When are you going to fight somebody decent?
We can go in circles with this then, because we're both asking decent questions.
Great question. When are you going to fight someone decent?
Who are you going to fight who's more lucrative than me right now? Who? Just who? You never answered me. I answered you. He has not beat or fought anyone who has a name as much as Keith Thurman has. But as of right now, who are you going to fight? Who's going to bring you more money? Danny Garcia? Sean Porter? That's going to bring you more money? or is it going to be Errol Spence and unifying the belts? And what, Texas, you can fight in Vegas. They're both popular. So it's going to be a very lucrative bout. I just want to know who's he going to fight? Just give me a name. Just give me a name. Who's going to be more lucrative? Who's going to be more lucrative? Crawford? You think you really think he's going to fight Crawford?
At least he's undisputed. At least he fought someone. At least he fought somebody. At least he was undisputed. Okay. Yeah, so we'll fight Crawford. We'll take Crawford because at least he's fought somebody.
So all right. So a tune-up fight and then he fights Crawford. That sounds fair.
Crawford, yeah, we'll fight Crawford until you fight somebody decent.
But do you think that Keith Thurman's going to fight Crawford after a tune-up bout?
That's my answer. I fight Crawford. WBO title. Okay. I fight Crawford.
And then you would fight Spence to unify.
I don't have to fight Spence because Spence ain't done nothing yet. By the time I've dealt with Crawford, you would at least you would actually fought somebody decent, and then we can have a conversation. And
but what if no one wants to fight Spence? But what if no one will fight Spence and he's stuck fighting bums or people who aren't on his level?
Maybe
Danny Garcia isn't going to fight him. Sean Porter's not going to fight him. That's why they're fighting.
Maybe it's just the fact that it's high risk and low reward. That's why nobody wants to fight your ass. That's probably what it is. High risk, low reward.
Go. See, that's why I say he's ducking because he doesn't think that he will beat Spence the way he thinks he can.
It's a swerve. There's a difference between a duck and a swerve.
Okay, yeah, it's a swerve. It's a swerve. We'll call it a swerve. Either way, he's not confident that he can beat Spence. He's not that confident that he can beat Spence. That you just said it.
WBC high risk, unified, low number one. End of conversation. Number one WBC champion. We're going to fight the former undisputed champion, still unbeaten Crawford, who I think is a better boxer than actual Spence. Truth be said.
Okay, now I'm going back from a fan's perspective. It looks like you're not confident that you can beat Spence, so you want to take.
I'm scared. Our team are very scared of Spence because he fought Kell Brook because we terrified.
But you just said it yourself. It's a high risk, low reward. It's a very, very high risk. It's a very high risk for him to fight Errol Spence right now. So he's going to take an easier fight.
No, yeah,
he's not confident.
If I knock your guy out, what do I get for it? Well, he's a bum in here because he didn't fight no one. So what? You ain't got no resume.
No. But you saying high risk, low reward is basically admitting I don't think I can beat this guy, and I'm not going to risk it.
How much weight you bring to the table? Let me see that resume again. See,
I'm telling you, we can talk in circles. We can talk in circles. The point is, Keith Thurman. The point is he does not believe he can beat Spence because
that resume. That's why the fight happened. Okay. That resume. You need to fight someone decent. Okay. Step up, fight someone decent, and then we'll make it happen. Yeah. Fight someone decent.
But no one will fight us. So what are we gonna do? Just sit here and keep fighting bums because.
That resume.
Exactly. See, we're talking in circles. We're talking. We're gonna keep talking in circles.
I'm gonna go and fight Crawford, and you keep with that resume, yeah? That whack resume.
Okay, and then who are you gonna fight after Crawford?
Well, I'm unified. I'm still number one, baby. I'm still number one.
Spence has a belt. Spence has a belt. But what about Spence? You can't unify with Spence.
So who's Spence for?
See, that's the only thing you have. That's the only thing you have.
But the resume is whack.
Okay. And I get to say, as Errol Spence, this guy, because I'm not as popular as him, I'm the B side. He doesn't want to fight me because of that. He's not confident that he can beat me, so he's going to take easier fights. I'd rather be a lion that people fear than the A side. Come on now.
Okay. Right. I know what people are saying in the room. Check out what people are saying in the room.
Okay. Probably talking trash about me.
You can't come with it because of the biased fanboyism. Spence juice.
Let me see. Oh, dear. Let me go up.
But it was fun though.
Someone said I look like Errol Spence. What? Marky B has said she's already been shut down. Haha, Ingram just rinsed her, shut down the show. Mickey said stop sporting, loving the wild fanboys on here. Okay, whatever. Ronald Finger said you're rather talk than fight. Go figure. Sporting Icon said Kell Brook is a better name than Porter and possibly Garcia. In the UK, yeah. I wouldn't say in the States though. Yeah, he said I look like Cullum Fritz said, how the hell is Brooke a better name than Garcia? Miles Cobbett said Spence is a banger. I agree with Beverly. Fight on. Marky said I have no answers. I gave you an answer. Lowland Prophet said I agree. Someone said Ortiz is 48. Clint said Callum Firth Klitschko was already in line to fight someone already. Fury. The Fury. Oh wait. After the Fury fiasco, Klitschko went the AJ route. Wilder never had a chance to fight Klitschko. That's true. That guy said Brooke banged up Porter. Mick D said Spence juiced up Vada. No, I don't. He takes USADA testing, so I doubt he's juiced. Marky said she can't come up with the answer because biased fanboyism. I'm not being biased. I agree. Honestly, I do think people overrate Spence in the sense that he lacks in defense. He's very straightforward, straight back. But what makes him so elite is his body work. No one in the sport is doing body work like Spence. No one. No, in my opinion. I just don't see anyone who's knocking people out regularly with body punches. And that it's been a while since we've seen boxers like that. But
How much do you think Spence weighs come fight time?
Ooh, probably
I think he's about a middleweight or super middle.
Blood said he beat Kell Brook. I think he's probably 175, something like that. Maybe he looks like a big dude.
I think
he's a big dude. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I would like to see him move up in weight, but I would also like to see him unify this division first. That's mostly what people do. That's what Crawford did.
In all honesty, I'd love to see Spence fight Thurman, but
right.
I've just shown you why that fight hasn't happened yet. I've just shown you right there.
Okay, yeah, and I'm telling you, that's a fair thing when it comes to business. But from a fan's point of view, it looks like you are not willing. It looks like you're not confident that you can beat Spence.
No, I just said I fight Crawford. I fight Crawford is a much better fighter than Spence. Proven.
Well,
proven.
He can be a better boxer, but that doesn't really mean much. Like Deontay Wilder's not the best boxer, but people are still afraid to fight him. See what I'm going at? You don't have to necessarily have the best technical ability to be a feared fighter. I do believe Terrence is the more technical fighter.
I believe Terrence also has been an undisputed champion.
Yeah, people would fight him. No one will fight Spence. That's the thing I'm getting at. You can't be undisputed if no one.
That whack resume.
You can't bring. That's the only thing you have. I asked you like two different questions. Who is Keith going to fight after he?
When are you going to fight somebody decent? When are you going to fight somebody decent?
Again, we're gonna keep talking in circles.
When are you going to fight somebody decent? I tell you what. I tell you. Let's come to an agreement. Yeah.
Right.
I'll fight your boy when he fights somebody decent. Keith's probably
and that's what you can leave me with that. But Spence's team is going to be like, oh well, no one will fight us, and Keith can be like, oh well, sucks for you.
Floyd Mayweather would say, what would Floyd say? Who's your best win?
Yeah, but Floyd's the one who started this whole A side, B side. So I'm not really a fan of Floyd. I'm only a fan of the only thing I like about Floyd is his boxing style. That's it.
Hey, listen, that man, how many men you know have left HBO and gone to Showtime and take their tapes with them? That's a boss.
Okay, but Floyd is Floyd though. He has his own persona. Earl Spence has built his fan base to like basically off of his boxing.
That resume.
His boxing. He has a solid fan base in his hometown. And he is
you're going to go to bed tonight. You're going to go to bed tonight. And you know what you're going to remember from this Englishman, this Britishman? You know what you're going to remember from this West Indian man? You're going to remember these words. That resume.
Yeah.
That resume. That resume. Every time you open Errol Spence, you're going to hear my voice going, that resume.
Okay. That's the only thing you have. And you'll hear me say multiple things that basically come back what you were saying. That's all you have for me is your resume. Okay, yeah. I'll,
Number
okay,
one,
yeah.
number one,
You can
number
be
one,
the businessman,
number
Steve.
one,
You
and
can be
got a
the
good
businessman
resume.
in your little fancy suit with your
Yep,
wife making all that exotic food and stuff.
that's right.
But I am a pugilistic lion, and you are afraid to fight me and
No,
get this belt.
a cub, because you ain't fought no one to call yourself a lion. I can say I'm a lion,
What?
but you ain't no lion. You're a cub. You ain't no lion
No,
yet.
no.
You're no lion. You're
People
a
won't
cub.
fight
Who
me.
have you
People are
fought?
afraid to approach me. No one will come in my territory because I own this territory. That's a
All the
lion.
other cubs are scared. All the other cubs are scared. All the other cubs are
Whatever.
scared at the cub party.
Whatever.
All the
Whatever.
cubs are scared.
Whatever. If you won't even approach my territory, that means I'm doing a good job. That means I'm doing a damn good job.
We fight with lions. We don't fight with cubs. We don't fight with cubs. We fight with lions.
Okay.
We do business as lions.
Okay. All right. Hey, puppy.
But listen, I
Okay.
love Spence, and if I talk to next time I talk to Derek, I'll say I will mention the resume though.
Okay. Yeah. His resume. That resume. That's your argument. I have more than one argument.
Wait. Let me give you an example. Okay, so boxing. So in the world of boxing, resume
Okay.
is people is a bit touchy about it, yeah. But okay, so when you go into work in business, you got to look at the resume, yeah. Okay, can't just say I'm gonna get that job. People have to look at your resume. Is that not correct?
And I understand. I understand from a manager's perspective. I also understand why Eddie Hearn doesn't want AJ to fight Wilder, because it would be what you say, high risk, low reward. If
No,
AJ gets his head knocked clean off by Wilder, he won't be making that much money for Eddie. So that's why he's not fighting him. If Keith gets body snatched by Errol Spence, he's not going to look too good. Errol Spence is going to take his A side. So it's understandable why a manager wouldn't want him to fight. But from a fan's perspective, that means you are not confident that you can beat Spence. So therefore, you rather take someone who you think you can beat. I'm looking at it from that perspective.
Let's change things around. You be Thurman's manager. Yeah, I'll be Spence manager. I'll make the fight happen.
Okay,
to make this fight happen. If you don't fight me, I'm going to fight. I'm going to get to myself to number one contender. Once I'm number one contender, if you don't fight me, I'll force WBC via the courts to strip you of your belt. So you don't fight me in a certain time, I'll fight you in court to fight me for the WBC title. Simple. It's either you fight for you either defend your belt, or I'm going to fight you in court to get that belt. Simple as.
Well, I have an O, and I'm afraid to let it go. And if you can beat me, I'm running. That's what. That's
fine. I'll see you in court. See you in court.
All right. Because I don't think you can beat me. That's from Spence's perspective.
And then you will have to relinquish that title, and then I'll fight somebody who wants to fight me for the title, so I can become.
And I will go back to Peru and play my food.
Yeah, that's right. You can go back and you can go in the mountains. You can smoke all your pipe you want.
Thank you for proving my point, sir.
So there you go. There you go. That is why I would.
Keith, I understand from a business perspective. I do, and you're making sense. But I'm saying, from a fan's perspective, you're losing. Yeah. He lost all credibility in the United States because he is basically what you call swerving. We call a straight duck. Because if you think you can beat him, then beat him. Get his belt, go fight Crawford, and unify. But nope. Oh no, you haven't really fought anybody, so we're just gonna fight Crawford. It's a high risk, low reward. Key word. When you go to bed tonight, you're gonna remember the phrase high risk, low reward. And that translates into, I don't think I can beat you as much as I think I can beat Crawford. So we're going to ignore you, maybe until you're past your prime, or if somebody beats you, then we'll fight you. But for right now, you're a little too scary for us, and you're not worth enough monies. So we're going to fight Crawford instead of you.
Okay.
You're too much of a risk. Or what Eddie Hearn says, you're too much of a massive risk for us to fight right now. We'll fight you later.
Let me give you a history lesson here. Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson. You know why that fight happened? Mike Tyson swerved Lennox Lewis.
Is that so?
Swerved Lennox. vacated the. I think he swerved Lennox Lewis, and Lennox had to go to court. He had to go to court to fight McCall to get the belt to fight McCall.
Actually, didn't know that.
Yeah, he had to go to court for that fight, right?
Mhm.
I think he had to go to court with Tyson as well to get the to fight as well. He went to court, so he didn't waste no time going for promoters. He went to court, and that's how it has to be done. Has to be done.
I feel like you're proving my point here, though.
No, if I want the fight to happen, I'll make the fight happen. But you got whack resumes, so there's no rush.
So wait, you're comparing that to Keith's situation? I don't understand where you're coming from.
I'm saying to you, if you really want the fight, if I'm Keith Thurman, no, if I'm Errol Spence's team and I want the fight to happen, I go for the courts, make it happen. I get myself into the
I guess we'll have to see what happens when Keith returns, who he's going to fight, and what he plans on doing afterwards.
Who's Errol Spence fighting next?
I have no idea. Who's Keith going to fight next?
Get a warm-up fight.
Not Terrence Crawford. He has to have a tune-up. I understand that. A tune-up is fine because his elbow was hurt. But who else after whoever he fights? You think it's going to be Crawford?
It will be somebody who's been a unified champion, has been an undisputed champion, and he's unbeaten.
Okay.
And he's got a better resume than the guy I'm looking at the moment. That's what matters.
We'll see.
And
we will see.
Fans will love that.
We will see. They ain't gonna like him out here because he already has no credibility anymore. Maybe in the UK, but out here, they're calling him Keith Runtime Thurman, Keith Ducktime Thurman. I mean, he's only known for playing the flute now. That's pretty much.
Errol straight line Spence.
Spence is known for being an elite body snatcher that no one wants to fight. He is a
wait, elite. Who have you been elite?
No, he's an elite boxer. The way he breaks down people.
Who is elite?
Okay, I guess that's fair. Let me take that back. He's an elite body. Yeah. He's an elite body puncher. That's what I'll say. And I think that's why people fear him.
Right. That's right. Not elite though.
Is that okay?
Yeah, it's just below the elite level. Just below.
Yeah, just below because he is straightforward and back, and he does lack defense in some areas, but
just under Keith. Yeah, just
Keith is obvious. There's a reason why he's avoiding him. Maybe it's that little flabby body Keith has. He's scared. He's scared of. He doesn't want to get hit by Spence.
You're world class and we're elite. There's a difference.
Yeah, I know. But it seems like the elite fighter doesn't want elite fighters. Why wouldn't an elite fighter want to take a risk? Aren't there some sort of characteristics that come with being elite, or you can just have the skill and that's it?
Okay, what people are saying in the room.
Okay, you didn't answer that though.
Saying in the
room. Let me go up. Oh, Marky B, yes, I ain't having nobody tell me about Spence. I gotta see that shit myself. Don't give me that. What are you talking about? Lowland Prophet said signing a contract for 10 months now. But what are they talking about? Are they arguing with each other?
It was Spence.
He said, I'm deluded. How am I deluded? You're deluded. Oh, the Cali name said Terrence Crawford wants smoke. See, Crawford wants to fight Spence.
Yeah, exactly.
Who blocked him? Why did he get blocked? Who blocked him?
It's okay. It's on your Nightbot. Nightbot does that in my room.
Oh, okay. As he said, for someone who disrespects Hearn, she quotes him a lot. Well, because he's speaking like talking points that Hearn speaks from. Daniel said LBBCR a joke. There's another hater. Mickey said she fancies Eddie. Not really. Not really. No, thank you. As he said, I wish Wilder was honest and just admit he wants more money. And so that's what? How are you gonna project what your fighter is doing onto me? AJ doesn't want legacy. All he wants is money. That's ridiculous. Isn't he the one who said, if you have $50 million, if this fight is $100 million, give me $50 million up front and I'll take the fight tomorrow on Saturday. He said it on Friday. So who's after the money? Who's really after the money? The man who accepted a flat rate, or the one who wants a percentage? Tell me that, or am I still deluded? Right, get out of here.
That people just love a nice, good debate. That's all it is. People just love
Yeah,
a
he
good
said
debate.
I'm a fangirl. I'm really not. If I was a fangirl, I'm a fanboy girl. That doesn't make any sense. First of all, that's what he said. But if I was a fangirl, I would be saying that Spence has no flaws. He's the best fighter ever, and no one can beat him. I'm not saying that these guys
No,
can't
I mean
beat
you
him.
can't
I'm just
because
saying that.
you can't because they just say that resume and that's it. That resume. Not even not even that. It's DA resume. That resume. That resume. That's it. Or not
Okay.
even resume. That's it. Spence, the true
Sporting
CV
Icon
or the true
says he's
resume.
signed up to VADA, and while he isn't, questions should be asked. Why he isn't, I think he meant. He's signed up for USADA, and if you know USADA, you know really no one can get over them unless you're using the newest stuff. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I think Spence is a little big for the weight class, but I think that's why he wants to hurry up and unify so he can move up. But it's hard if no one wants to fight you. That's my point.
I cannot defend Keith Thurman's inactivity, but what I can defend is that resume, and that's
Okay.
it.
That's it. That's the only thing you have. I have at least two things on Spence that I bring to the negotiation table.
That
Okay.
resume, that's it. That resume lets you down.
You can have that. You can have that. That's the only thing. And again, Spence has the bragging rights. This
And the
guy
fact he
doesn't want
comes
to fight
and
me
the fact he comes
because
from
I'm a
Texas,
high
and the
risk,
fact he
low
comes from
reward.
Texas with a cowboy.
Texas? Didn't he sell out? Where did he fight last? Someone tell me where Spence fought last.
Yeah,
And
I
I think he
know,
sold it out. And it was a spectacle.
wait. Hold on. You can sell that stuff out. That's fine. But you ain't fought no Garcia. You ain't fought no Porter. So,
That's the
mate.
only thing you come back to. I see what you're doing. You are a good negotiator. Yeah, you could push that out to the public all you want, but again, real boxing fans, no, you don't want no smoke with him. You don't want no smoke with Spence, and that's why you're not
Come
saying
smoke. No, I want a real fight of a real man who does like to take on the challenge, which is Terence Crawford. He's moved up
all
three-weight
right.
world champion. I want Terence Crawford. That's the fight we want.
Okay,
One lion against another lion.
okay.
That's a fair fight. We don't fight
You can,
cubs.
hey, you can have that. You
And
can
of
have
course,
that.
on your
You
resumes,
win.
cubs at the moment.
You win. You
Thank you.
win.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's what you wanted me to
Yeah.
say. You win.
No, what I want you to say is when you go back
You
on your
won the
channel,
negotiation,
when you go
and now
back to
you
your
can tell the
channel,
public.
you say go back when you go back to your channel, tell them the truth, tell them just say the resume. Start the YouTube channel with the resume and go through boxing
Yeah.
and go through the resume. The Errol Spence, the truth, because he's the truth. Yeah, tell them the truth about that resume, and that's it.
Okay, I'll give you that. He doesn't have as good of a resume as Keith Thurman, but like I
Not
said,
like
we'll just keep talking in circles.
okay, but
We'll
yeah,
just
but
keep
it's fun
talking.
though. It's been fun. It's been
Yeah.
fun. So the Errol Spence conversation is put to one side. Who else? Let's see who's next. Oh, Golovkin Canelo. That's a nice debate. Let's talk about that.
Canelo. I got Canelo winning.
I got Canelo.
Definitely. Yeah, that Mexican meat. He's on that Mexican meat. So, and also I think he pretty much has Triple G figured out from the last fight. I don't. I think he won the last fight. Honestly, I know
That's
a
what
lot
I
of people
felt.
disagree.
No, no, a lot of
Yeah.
people do disagree.
Golovkin just doesn't do enough for me. I'm honestly surprised that Teddy Atlas was against Canelo, but yeah, I think this is going to be a schooling now,
So
especially
do I.
because he had that Mexican meat. So not only does he have that, he also has him figured out. And Canelo's a damn good boxer without the clenbuterol. So yeah, I think it's going to be a schooling. He might knock him out, but Triple G does have a good chin. So
Yeah, but you have a good chin. You can't keep taking shots on that chin over and over again. There, it's not good.
true. And he might set up some good counters this time, which he already was. But I'm saying I think it's going to be a schooling. I hope it doesn't go the distance.
Have you noticed when Golovkin fights, when you actually attack Golovkin and you hit him with shots, he doesn't come back. He takes
Yeah,
the shots and he takes the shots. He stands there, he takes the shots, resets, and then throws punches.
Yeah, that's
You know,
pretty much what he's straight up and down, like Floyd said. No special effects. He has no
mhm.
special effects, and he's overrated. Honestly, that's why he was willing to fight a bum in Mexico, but got stripped instead. He doesn't want to fight Charlo, and I mean,
Yeah, well, I talked to Abel before that article even came out about him, and I did it live. I asked him about
right.
Charlo, and he said, "Well, again, this is a great Abel Sancho quote, but Charlo needs to fight Jacobs first because he's got the resume is a bit dodgy. But once he fights Jacobs, then we can say he's got a great. We know how good Charlo is. Then he should fight Golovkin. But before then, he should be fighting Golovkin. High risk, low reward.
Why is Marky so mean?
I don't think he's mean. He's a lovely guy, really. When you get to
No,
know
he
him.
said, while you're at it, Beverly, get rid of that 1992 webcam. How about you buy me one? How about you come? How about you buy me one, boy?
Marky, hey, Marky, you can't be treating our guests like that. Come
You
on,
sound like you're butthurt about something.
Marky,
Did I
you
reject
can't
you
be
in
like
another
that.
life?
Marky, come on, you can't be
Did you
like
want to
that.
ask me out on a date and then I'm not a fan of your favorite fighter, so you got all intimidated? What's wrong with you? Why are you so rude? Huh? Where are you from? Where is Marky from?
He's from the
Let me know
UK.
where you're from the UK? Okay. Whatever.
So
Whatever.
I think Marky, come on, man. There's no need for 1992. Marky, there was no need for that, man. Come on, man.
Let me see who you are.
Marky's
Oh,
a
all
good.
you do is upload videos of music. Okay, dude, there's no need to do stuff like that. You just sound like you lost a debate and now your butt hurt. That's what trolls do. Don't be trolling
Marky,
me.
Marky, come on, man. Can't be like that, man. You got a nice sister in the room, and she's doing her stuff for boxing, and you be like that, man. Come on, man. You should know better than that. You should know the rules of the room as it is. Respect the sister. I mean,
That guy said Marky B, yeah, is that kid at school who insults girls he likes. Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I figured. That's what I
that's
figured.
what.
You got a little crush on me, huh, Marky? I know.
Oh, dear.
He saw me and had those heart eye emojis. I know what
He
it is.
apologized. He apologized.
Mhm. Yeah, you like me. You like me. It's not from 1992. This is I don't know what model this is, but y'all are, it might be from 1992, but whatever.
So um, okay, we've had a debate. I think a lot of it's tongue in cheek. I don't think anyone should take the debate very seriously. It's tongue in
Yeah,
cheek. Those
yeah.
debates,
I know. I'm just messing with Marky.
of
I'm just
course.
messing with Marky.
So let's talk about some other serious things in boxing. So let's talk about weight loss in boxing
Weight classes?
and or, or making weight in boxing. Do you think we should have it back the same day weight making, or
Uh, yeah, yeah. I think so. Well, I don't know. I think there's enough weight classes for people to fight in their respective uh
weight categories?
weight. Yeah, I think there's plenty. I think in MMA it should be different because there's not that many weight classes in MMA. You know, if you compare MMA to boxing,
Mm.
boxing is way ahead of MMA, and it's a lot healthier for boxers to make weight. So I don't know. It's harder to be a weight bully in boxing than it is MMA.
You think so? Yeah, it's pretty true. But think this out a second, Beverly.
Mm-hmm.
How many fighters do you know that actually come fight night actually fight at their weight? So welterweight fights as a welterweight, a middleweight fights as a middleweight. The only person that actually fights at their right category is a heavyweight.
True.
Everyone else come fight
Hmm.
night is because you know that Canelo is not fighting the middleweight when he comes in the fight.
Right. Right. Definitely. But he's also tested positive for, and his head grew. So he's a cheater. Obviously, he's on something. But I feel like, I don't know. Well, you think for the most part boxers don't come in
I
at
don't
the proper weight?
I don't think actually fighting their actual weight category. I mean, you might say, well, it's scheduled to be a welterweight bout, but there's no way that Errol Spence, example, Keith Thurman, Kell
Right.
Brook,
Right.
these guys are welterweights when they fight. I'm sure they're around light middle or middleweight when they fight.
Mm-hmm. Eh, I don't know. What can you do? What can you do? I don't really make more
Same
weight
day,
classes.
same
Oh
day
yeah,
weighing,
same
same
day.
day
Yeah,
weighing.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I think that's fair. Now that you break it down like that, yeah, I think there should be. That way, there's no weight bullying. Yeah.
What about taking away all these belts and having just one belt?
That'll be difficult because boxers are independent contractors. And like for example, UFC, it'll be a lot easier because it's pretty much a monopoly
Mm-hmm.
and there's only like one or two interim belts. Probably I think it's only one interim belt and then it goes by rankings. But in boxing, you can't really force a boxer to fight another boxer unless, they're mandatory. But and there's also different governing bodies. In MMA, there's nothing like that. And they're trying to instill the Ali Act actually in MMA right now. But in boxing, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult. And that's why unification is such a huge thing because that's really the only way you'll get one title holder. But making a system with the Ali Act to have only one belt, I don't know. Unless the governing bodies themselves decide, hey, this is only going to be one belt. But how would they make their money if there was only one belt,
Pay higher sanctioning fee for that one belt.
True, true. Yeah. But are they? Who's going to make it happen? Would the government have to step in themselves or?
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Another question. Judges. How about having 5 judges instead of 3?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I guess to get different perspective, but then you'll have even more controversy. You don't think?
5 judges. 3 get it right. It's 3 versus 2.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, well, yeah. I guess 3 is more controversy, but then you have more judges to pay off. So I think of the dirty politics that goes along with it. It all sounds good, but at the same time, everyone's after their money and stuff and their own agenda. So, but I think 5 would be more ideal, in my opinion. Yeah. These are a lot of good questions. I haven't really thought of this stuff. 5 judges.
Welcome to the channel. Pacquiao, Lucas Matisse.
Oh boy.
Why the hell is this fight even happening? On my birthday. Why the hell is this fight even happening?
Because people don't know when to hang him up. I mean, I did a breakdown of this fight, but I don't know. I got Pacquiao winning by split decision, but I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Matisse knocks him out. I wouldn't be surprised. He was getting hit in the Jeff Horn fight.
Yeah, I always get worried when I hear crap like he's going to be younger than he was before. When he's
oh my god, yeah,
garbage. And when I hear that sort of garbage, I think quite the opposite. He's looking old in training, so we've got to make him sound like he's.
That's all you see on boxing scene. Like, oh, he'll come in. He's younger than ever. I saw that article, and it's obvious that they're trying to. They're selling chocolate covered poop. That's what they're selling. Like, hey, look at this, and then it's gonna be. I don't think they should do that. I think they should just sell Pacquiao as a name and not hype us up for something that we're not going to see because it ruins your credibility as a promoter.
Dillian White versus Joseph Parker. I've got Dillian White. We're meant to do an interview together, but
you think Dillian White's going to win? I got Joseph Parker.
At this point, who cares?
I know, that's what I'm saying. There's nothing going on in boxing.
Like, there's always going to happen.
Robert Easter Jr.
Go on.
That's a good fight. Easter versus Garcia. That's a pretty good fight coming up, but nothing else other than that.
I think Easter could beat Garcia,
Yeah, if he uses his range, but he doesn't. So that's why I have Mikey not outclassing him. I just think he wins off of probably split decision. If Easter hasn't changed his style, which I don't think you're going to change that fast after switching trainers so soon, I don't buy it. I just don't see it. And it really irritates me when lanky fighters don't use their length. Can you imagine if Tommy Hearns never used his length? Just imagine that. Yeah, that's pretty much what Easter is like, and it's irritating to me. So I hope he loses. Just for fight.
Best pieces of news I heard recently in boxing. Best pieces of news I heard.
What?
Andrade is a free agent.
Oh, what's his name?
Andrade, yeah.
First name. What's his first name?
Cisse now.
I forgot, but I know who you're talking about. I actually just now learned about him. Like I said, I'm a casual when it comes to
Oh
names.
yeah, there you go. There's another guy who's
But
sweet science.
him,
Andrade,
he is.
sweet science.
I forgot his first name.
I know. I forgot
I
his first name
totally.
as well.
Someone tell me his first name.
Somebody please get Andrade's first name up, please.
Yeah.
I forgot his name. Demetrius.
Mm, Marky said, "Who
Demetrius
is your
Andrade.
favorite promoter?" I don't really have a favorite promoter. I mean, I just want to see fights. Not a fan of Eddie Hearn or Frank Warren.
Well, you're a fan of Don King.
No. Well, for making
You're not
the best fights, yeah. But I mean, I'm not out here on Team Don King like how they are out there with Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren. All you see on IFL TV's interviews is like, oh, Frank Warren is fish eyes and Eddie Hearn is beating him at whatever. And I'm just like, why are y'all fans of a promoter in the first place? Seriously. I mean, do you have posters of him? You have Eddie Hearn with his little grin and his squinty little snake eyes. You have posters of him up and you want his autograph when you see him. I mean, yeah, I'm not a Demetrius, that's his name. Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Demetrius Andrade, bad man. You know he
Yeah,
beat
I
Keith.
gotta I gotta do some film study on
he
him.
beat Keith as an amateur. You know that, right?
Did he?
See, you're happy now, isn't it? See, look at your eyes. Look how they lit up. Look, that was proper. That was proper fangirlish. Did he? He beat Keith. Come on,
Shut up.
that was proper.
Maybe I got excited because I'm excited to film study him. If he beat Keith Thurman, that must mean he's really good.
When you play the tape afterwards, watch your eyes with how they lit up with great delight. Keith Thurman got beat by Andrade. Yes. Yes.
Whatever.
Errol, I'm getting you that fight. Errol, I'm getting you that fight. Errol, that fight's gonna happen.
Whatever. Marky said, okay, so who do you think is the best promoter right now? The best promoter in regards to making fights or selling BS? I think the best promoter in regards to selling BS is Eddie Hearn because he has a lot of people fooled right now. In regards to making the best fights,
Sowlands.
really no one.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah. The World Boxing Super Series.
Of course. And they've got another series coming up now.
Who? Garcia versus Usyk, right?
Yeah, no, they've got another series, haven't they?
Oh yeah, is it bantamweight?
Yeah, we've got.
I think it's bantamweight.
It's great. No, there's one. Is there a welterweight one? The one that Josh Taylor, light welterweight. Josh Taylor's in there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I heard of that.
So I think the best promoter in the world has got to be the Sowlands.
Yeah.
Because at least the
pretty
best
much.
of fight the best there. Yeah, the best of fight.
Yeah. But other than that, it's really no one.
What are your thoughts on Golden Boy and Facebook?
On Facebook?
Yeah, Golden Boy have actually announced that they're going to be doing free fights on Facebook.
Oh, I think they're desperate. That sounds like they're desperate.
I think it's great. They've got, guess who's fighting? Sullivan Barrera is going to be fighting on Facebook live.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm talking from their perspective as business. I mean, you already have free fights on ESPN, and now you're broadcasting. How did they get paid through Facebook ads?
Maybe so, yeah. Oh, there's an app called Facebook. Facebook.
And there's an app now, or you can stream stuff.
It's Facebook, and it's going to be for America. It's on Facebook. Special Facebook app for it. Facebook Action or Facebook something. It's only for America.
Oh, I didn't know that. That might be lucrative.
Yeah. So that might
but I think Golden Boy's falling apart, honestly, as a promotional company. In my opinion, that is.
People want to know when you're going to do a hangout. People now, you've got fans now. You've got more fans now, in fact.
JD said she got to stick to the LGBT script. Huh? In regards to who? Who? Fishnets? Oscar De La Hoya? What? LGBT script. I am not one of those people, man. Don't go to my channel if you're one of those people. I'm not talking about homosexuals. I'm just saying people who have that agenda, who are constantly shoving it down your throat
Okay,
like
so,
Hollywood.
okay,
That's
boxing
not me.
sporting icons. If it's not the Sowlands, I thought it was the Sowlands behind it. Oh, so then whoever
Yeah, they are.
I thought Sowlands was promoting the World Boxing. Who is promoting the World Boxing Super Series if it's not Sowlands?
Yeah, who is it?
Yeah, who is it? I thought it was the
No,
Sowlands
my
at the
turn.
time because I keep seeing Cali Sowland
But
all
when
the
am I doing
time.
a hangout? I'll probably do a stream tomorrow. Yeah, probably tomorrow. It's already 3 o'clock. Wow, we've been streaming for what, 2 hours?
Yeah, I saw you do a stream for 4 hours.
Yeah, that was a debate. It was fun. It was fun.
Oh, thanks. Oh, this is not fun then. Oh, thank you. Nice. Appreciate
No,
it.
no, no. This is fun too. This
Oh,
is very
yeah,
fun. Come
but
on,
it's not the
come on.
same because I lost
We
the
got
debate
we got
earlier on.
chemistry.
Yeah, but
We got
we've got
chemistry. Come
chemistry.
on.
But I lost the debate about Errol Spence. That's what it is. It's hurting, isn't it? You're a bit hurt about it. I understand. So
No, I didn't lose that debate. I did not lose that debate. I really
just had a
didn't.
whack resume. That was all. Anyway, moving on.
That's the only thing you
Can
got.
I ask you a question?
Uh-huh.
What do you think about BoxRec? Honestly, your honest opinion on BoxRec. What do you think about BoxRec?
Um, I think from what I've heard, I hear they're not as reliable as I thought. But in terms of rankings, no, I don't. I shouldn't. People say you shouldn't really follow them for rankings, but I like BoxRec because it's really the only place where you can get. It's like an encyclopedia for boxers,
Yeah,
and it
like
has the full schedule. It has upcoming schedules, it has previous schedules, and the results and stuff. But in terms of ranking, nah,
but
I
in
don't.
terms of resume, it's quite spot on, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. You can.
Yeah,
I
so,
mean, it's like I said, like an encyclopedia. You can
great
go
way
back.
to decide. It's a great way to decide whether you want to fight somebody or not with the resume, isn't it? On
Oh,
BoxRec.
here we go.
I'm just saying.
Whatever. That's the only argument you have, okay? And that's why Keith Thurman is losing credibility. Resume, 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 resume.
BoxRec is the first thing since sliced bread. People are saying no. Cali Sowland and Chauffeur, but World Boxing Superstars are promoters. Team Sowland promote Pulev, etc. Oh, okay. BoxRec is brilliant. BoxRec is where you can see how awful some of these dudes like Wilder's resume is. Oh dear.
I mean, all AJ has is a washed up Klitschko. So.
And Parker.
Joseph, get out of here with that.
And Tacken.
And Takam, which was a really, really fishy fight. I mean, the fight got stopped and he didn't land the last 5 punches. So that doesn't really count to me.
I'm not debating. I'm not debating that. It's not even a
Right.
debate. It's a fact. So I'm not even debating it. I'm not even debating it. Okay. What are your thoughts on female boxing?
Women's boxing, it's on the up and up, but I feel like as of right now, and I've talked about this in a stream before that I did a few weeks ago, and I think there has to be a certain kind of combination to have women's boxing kick up the way women's MMA did. If you want a Ronda Rousey, you have to have finishes, and it's hard for women in boxing to set up finishes because you're only throwing punches. You can't judo flip someone and then armbar them, like Ronda Rousey did. You have to actually know how. It's hard to get knockouts in boxing when you don't know how to set them up. Women aren't as cerebral in boxing when it as opposed to men.
I can help you.
Huh?
Simply, I can help you. Very simple. I've got a simple solution.
What?
3-minute rounds.
That too. That's another thing. It's kind of a turnoff when it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to establish yourself in 2 minutes. It takes about a minute and a half to get your jab going, depending on who you're fighting. If it's like equal competition, you'll need a minute and a half to establish your jab, depending on how good your jab is yourself. And after you establish your jab, then you have to work on feints and whatnot. All this stuff takes 3 minutes. And if you don't have that much time, then it's kind of it's not that exciting. I think they use 2 minutes because they think a lot of action is going to happen. But again, this is boxing, not brawling. So yeah, it's hard to set up a knockout. It's hard to just knock a girl out with gloves on
Mhm.
too. I mean, women don't hit that hard, so you have to be able to set up a knockout, and that's going to take a very special kind of girl who has it up here, who has the ring IQ to throw a jab to the body, and then feint low, and then catch her with a hook that'll knock her out.
Lucy Recker's was a bad woman.
Yeah, her and Wool,
Oh,
and really no one else really. I don't think Layla Ali was as good as people think she is.
no, no, no. What's your thoughts on Clarissa Shields?
I love Calista Shields. Her last fight, I honestly think she lost.
Okay,
Um, I don't think she did enough. I judged it based on ring generalship,
okay.
and I think you could say it was a close fight. Yeah, I guess it was pretty close, but I actually watched it again a third time, and I guess it's fair to say it was close, but I wouldn't have gave it to Shields.
Let me.
But I think she's on her way to being a star if she can have finishes, and if she
I think
fights competition like Hannah Gabriel's.
I think she's gonna smash Hammer to bits.
You think? I think so too. A lot of people
You
think
know
that she's
why?
going to lose to Hammers, and I
Straight
don't.
up.
I don't think so.
She's too straight up. She's got a chin in the air. She's too stiff. Them big
Hmm.
clubbing rights over the top are gonna
You think?
shoot.
Do you think she's mobile enough
Nah,
to beat Shields? Yeah, I don't. That's really the only thing that gives Shields a problem is mobility,
yeah, but
from
yeah,
what I've seen.
but I see Shields just. Oh, she reminds me of a female Klitschko.
Really? Who?
The way she uses a
Hammers
jab,
or?
Hammer. Yeah, the way she
Oh
uses a
yeah,
jab
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and the right hand and the left hooks is very much like Vitaly Klitschko sort of style.
Right. Yeah,
Very Eastern
I can see
European,
that.
but it's all right. I can see Carissa just
Me too.
yeah,
Me
just
too. Probably,
she'll
probably TKO.
take her into a dogfight and just all you just see is her head going back like this. She'll just the fighter should be moving forward like a robot and her would be moving all the time.
Yeah, basically.
And getting rocked back all the time.
Yeah, I
That's what I
think
see with her.
a lot of people think she's gonna lose to Hammers after her last fight. Even though I think she lost her last fight, I don't think she's gonna lose to
Yeah, but
Hammers.
no, I don't. That's Clash of Stars. I think stars make fights. That star that Hayward's got is perfect for the star like Shields because Shields chuck them anywhere and everywhere, and I think Hammer's going to walk onto them shots and get caught with them shots.
Yeah,
That's what
me
I think
too.
personally.
Me too,
Um,
honestly.
let me give you a couple of fights here, female fights that I'd like to see. I was talking to Jessica McCaskill the other day, and she said
Hmm.
she'd like to fight Chantel Cameron. She said she'd like to fight um, Heather Hardy, and she'd like to fight the Serrano sister. What do you think?
Ooh, I don't know Chantel. I don't know her, but I do know. Who did you say second? I know the Serrano sisters, and I know who did
Heather
you say
Hardy.
second? Yeah,
Heather
Heather
Hardy.
Hardy. Yeah. I don't think she'll beat the Serrano sisters or
No,
whoever, which one. I don't think she'll beat them, but I think she has a chance against Heather Hardy. Because I don't know, it's just the way if she could cut off the ring more and maybe be a little less flat footed, then she'd be a beast. Because
I still think she'll go on to be a world champion. Think about this here for a second.
hmm
Katie Taylor had a decorated amateur career, yeah? Olympic gold
right.
medalist.
Hmm.
Jessica McCaskill it was nowhere near that level as an amateur. Look what she almost did to take Katie Taylor as a pro.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that. That was a very I didn't like the way they scored the fight.
Nor did I.
Um, yeah. But the only thing really that she needed was to be able to cut her off. When Kaylee she likes to turn out a lot. She's the same move over and over again. And if you could figure that out, and find a way to counter, maybe hit her to the body when she does that weird. She likes to throw a punch and then kind of swing out
Mm-hmm.
in a wild way.
Yep.
If you could hit her to the body, she would slow down. Katie doesn't like getting hit. I honestly think Katie Taylor's overrated. I really do.
I think she gets hit way too
But
often.
exactly. She's not as good as people say she is. Good nonetheless, but just not. She's not. She's better as an amateur,
You know
I
who I
think.
love? I love Cecilia Brackers, but I'm
Oh
sorry. I
yeah,
think she's going
I
backwards.
like. You think
Well,
should she move up and wait?
look who her trainer is. Look who her trainer is.
Is it Abel Sanchez?
Oh, it's Jonathan Banks.
Who's he train?
Exactly.
Oh, I never heard of him.
Training, he was training Klitschko,
Uh huh.
and you know,
Wait, which one? Vladimir Klitschko?
Vitaly. Oh yeah, Vladimir. Yeah, Vladimir. He was training Vladimir.
Mm.
But
Well,
I saw her doing the same thing over and over and over again in that fight.
yeah, I don't think Breckus is overrated. I
No, I
just
love her.
think, yeah, like I said, like you said, she could do better. And also, I think another thing that we should see in women's boxing are women who move up in weight classes. I think there's a low expectation of women who say, like Cecilia Brækhus, a lot of people say she's too small for Clarissa Shields.
Mhm.
And I think in order to have a pound for pound ranking in women, you have to do exactly that. You have to move up in weight. You can't be considered pound for pound if you don't move up in weight, in my opinion. Like Terrence Crawford wouldn't be ranked pound for pound number one if he didn't move up in weight. I don't think it's fair that there's no expectation for women to move up in weight. I don't think Clarissa Shields should have to move down in weight all the time. I don't see what's wrong with Brækhus moving up in weight to fight Shields. Men do it; they move up in weight all the time. So why can't the women do it?
I agree. I think it's a very valid point as well. I think